Hello again, everyone. Mike Russell here, Executive Chef at the RCYC. Another recipe for you. This one, pretty easy one that pretty much anybody can accomplish using a few ingredients, and at which some of these ingredients we can easily substitute other things. So the recipe is Bucatini alla amatriciana. It's a Roman classic. Using Bucatini pasta, guanciale, which is the cured cheek of or jowl of pork, very similar to pancetta, which could be used. Pancetta is the belly. You could also use some bacon or prosciutto or sopressata, whatever you have, whatever kind of cured pork meat you have. In addition to that, I have some pureed plum tomatoes or San Marzano tomatoes, but again, you could use a pre-prepared tomato sauce if you had it, or if you just had some regular canned tomatoes, you could puree those. Pecorino Romano cheese, so sheep's milk, sharp cheese, which is made in the kind of Roman area. We've also got some diced onions, white wine, chili flakes, and garlic, and a touch of olive oil as well we'll need. So I've preheated a cast iron pan. You could use a frying pan if you had it. Any sort of pot, doesn't really matter, as long as it's big enough to hold, depending on how many portions of pasta you're going to be making. So to that pan we will add a touch of olive oil and the guanciale. We're going to cook this off for till it's a little bit crispy, but yet still tender on the inside. So I'd say approximately 3 minutes. Okay, so now that we have our guanciale cooked, we're just going to remove this from the pan and put it on a paper towel lined plate to let that drain. And it's let off a fair amount of fat. I'll hold that up to the camera there. So you see we've got a lot of fat in there, so we're going to have to remove some of it, otherwise our final dish will have a bit too much fat in it. So we're just going to remove the fat, and we'll leave a couple tablespoons behind. So now to this pan we'll add the onions over low heat and just sweat those off until they're soft and translucent. In addition to that, we will add the chili flakes, the garlic, once that's soft, we'll add the tomato sauce and we'll add the pork back. Okay, so now we have in our pan the onions, the garlic, the chilies. We added the white wine, reduced that down, then the tomato puree, and we added the guanciale back in. Kind of simmered this for about 5 minutes. It's probably going to take another 5 to 10 more minutes to come down. We just want it to come nice and thick. and then it'll be able to coat the pasta nicely. So we'll let that keep going down. And while we're waiting for that to happen, I've already got a pan of hot water starting to boil. So we're just going to season that that water liberally with salt, but not too salty. I'd say something similar to if you were tasting like a well-seasoned soup. Because we're going to use some of that water and use some of the starch that comes off from the pasta cooking to help thicken this sauce as well. So I'm just making 2 portions. It's just me and my wife eating tonight. But if you were going to make 4 portions, 3 to 4 portions, I'd say use a whole package. I'm just going to use half. So this is Bucatini pasta. It's a great pasta for holding sauce. Buca means hole, I believe. So it has it's a hole in the middle, and it'll kind of grab up all the great sauce. You know what? I'm feeling a little hungry today. I'm gonna add a bit more, just for the sake of it. And so just tending to the sauce while the pasta's cooking. You'll want a pair of tongs, or these are kind of like pasta tweezers. Okay, so it's been about 7 minutes. My pasta's been cooking. It's pretty close to al dente. So we're gonna remove it from the pan of water. We're gonna remove it from the water and then add it to the pasta sauce, and we'll finish the cooking in the tomato sauce. So pasta in. If you wanted to use a colander, you could dump this into a colander, reserving maybe 1 ladle, 2 ladles worth of sauce that then we can then use to adjust it. Okay, so we'll mix that in. Now we'll add a bit of that pasta water. Give a ladle and a half should do. Turn the heat up to about medium. And just allow that starchy water, seasoned water to kind of coat the pasta and mix in with the tomato sauce, onions, guanciale, garlic, chilies. So I used Bucatini pasta here. You could have used whatever you had. If you had penne, you could have used penne, no problem. Rigatoni, which you'll often actually find in Rome a lot. People making it with rigatoni. Spaghetti, I believe the classic recipe was made with spaghetti. And so now this is all come together. We're looking pretty good here. Nice and sticky there, and kind of all nicely coated the pasta. Whoopsie. We're going to take it off the heat, grab our bowls, and we're going to finish it with the Pecorino Romano cheese. So right into the pot. I'd say probably half a cup's worth. If you don't have pecorino cheese, feel free to use Parmigiano Reggiano, Grana Padano, whatever kind of hard cheese you might have. If you've got the pre-grated, that works too. So just off the heat, so we're just going to kind of use this cheese to season this, but also we're going to melt it in here so it gets even creamier, this pasta. That's looking pretty good to me. Move this over here for the plating. And then we can grab this ladle here that we use for the pasta water just to kind of make our plating a little bit nicer. And we'll pick up a bunch of this pasta here. Put it into the bowl and twist it. And then you can just dump it out into the bowl like so. And then we'll finish each one with a bit more of this pecorino on top. And there you have it, Bucatini alla amatriciana at home using what I have in my pantry. You feel free to use whatever you'd like.